Hello there. Welcome, Kenobi. The General Kenobi. Today, I am bringing you a happy story. Or not so happy, it starts out shit and then it ends up going well, boys. Now, I've realised I've been a spreader of misery and diseases. Like someone with AIDS putting their pee-pee in places it don't belong. I'm just spreading illness left, right, and centre. Now, today we're going to spread something positive. Like a porn star who spreads her legs for cashola, we will be spreading that shit like you're spreading peanut butter on your dog's backside.
True story.
Georgia dad accused of leaving children alone. Now, if you've not seen this, it's quite an interesting story. So a man who lives in Georgia, Augusta, called Chris. He had 3 children, aged 1, 6, and 10. Quite young, as you can probably tell. It is an interesting place. He went for a McDonald's. He went for a job interview because he needed a job. Today's current climate means you can't do anything without money. You can't even drive your own car anywhere these days without getting a charge because you're in the public stratosphere. Like, fuck you. I'm driving my car and you're going to charge me a toll. Like, I'm going to kill you. Anyway. So he left these kids for about an hour and 42 minutes, which isn't, it's a hell of a long time, you know what I mean? And a lady saw these people in the restaurant and then said, hey yo, it's the cops. We got 3 black kids here. They're probably trying to rob the joint. Racist. Obviously, they didn't say that, but they were worried about the kids, so the police came. They then charged her with deprivation of a minor, a misdemeanor. The story went viral. And then a former NFL star called Antonio Brown. So that guy's name was Chris Louis, by the way. This an NFL player. I'm not an NFL man because I'm English and believe in real sport. Antonio Brown, who was an NFL bloke, created a GoFundMe because obviously he wanted to provide for his family. He was trying to get a job so that they could have a better life and, not be homeless because apparently they've been homeless for a fair few months. He created a GoFundMe for people to donate. Now, one thing, a former NFL star donates $1,000. You know what I mean? Like $1,000. You're like, this guy's a multi-millionaire, is he not? Surely he can, cash it. Anyway, well, who am I to judge how much have you donated, Harrison? 0. Look, I need my own GoFundMe here. I'm living in fucking a rapist basement and all I have to do is just tickle his balls 5 minutes in the morning. It's not, don't worry about me. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Send help. Other YouTubers and people donated and they've reached a 50k goal for this gentleman, which is just fantastic. Let's hope he's a good person like he says. Sorry, my vibrator's going off. Someone says it's honey time. He then posted an update. I'm gathering additional information from the family. In the meantime, the funds remain on hold. What? He offered refunds to donors, saying he'd only process if the story checked out, emphasizing he wanted to show it was for a good cause. Some defend, so obviously, is this good, is this bad, blah, 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 blah. Some defend him. Others are saying, by saying he was a desperate parent in a tough spot, while others saying others have claimed that he's lied and left his kids alone, while the one other user alleging his daughter told police that wasn't a one-off. Brown hasn't commented further as of today. So I didn't read that bit when I told you we were spreading a positive message here. Let's find the GoFundMe. Here we are. So it's 3 days ago. There are 83 Gs, mate. 83 Gs. So he was obviously arrested. I hope this guy's a good... Oh, my God. Chris Swaggy C. Williams. That's a hell of a name, isn't it? $2,000. Here we are. I have spoken with GoFundMe, and they will get the funds to Chris and his family. I haven't spoken to Chris, though. So hopefully Chris is a good guy. Everything he said is real. I'm sure you can obviously prove and go to the McDonald's and say, yo, was this man trying to get a job with you mother truckers? Did this man want to flip cheeseburgers to support his family? Yay or nay? Yay or gay? Is you gay? I've never worked in Macca's. I've never wanted to work in Macca's. But utmost respect, times are tough. The man needs a job and he needs to get in there and he needs to start providing because times are tough, baby girl. Times are tough. And now, at least he's trying. And unfortunately, it isn't a great look when you leave a 1-year-old within a 10-year-old. I think that's pretty... slipped under the radar. I appreciate, things might not be easy. Maybe you don't have family, grandparents, whatever it might be. But there has to be solutions around this shit. I don't know if you can go to the internet and say, look, I got my kids here. I can't just leave them. Do you mind if I just put them in the corner and we just, forget they're here for 5 minutes? Look, I ain't a parent and clearly ain't ready to be one with that answer. But it is sad to see people jumping to conclusion. A lot of people in the comments saying, I wonder what he was doing there. Weed, here. I've already seen a few big influencers praise him, and there was a GoFundMe for like 50k. Wonder what he was going to drop off. Obviously implying he's selling meth or marijuana, something along their lines. That's obviously very racist because the man's got dreads. You think he's doing that? I mean, if you're selling drugs with a 10-year-old, shit must be desperate either way. And we need to try to support him and get him a job. So if he, I'm not saying he was doing that, but if he is doing that, offer it. Instead of just slapping him on the wrist and locking him in a cell, try get him a job, offering him things that you know, to try and make the situation better. If you're interested in the GoFundMe, obviously it's here. It is a great cause if the man is legit. Obviously, if he's a scoundrel and he's just leaving kids around just for a laugh and, visiting prostitutes while he's not looking, then we have a slightly bigger issue and you should get a refund. But a lot of people have donated. It's good to see. Look at all these homies, 25, 50s, 10s, 200, someone's pocket money, fivers. You know what I mean? It's nice to see. So if you're interested, we can see the top. That's cool. Top. Yeah, 2 Gs, 1.5, Antonio Brown, 1 G, Kirk Herbstreit. Mate, that's Herbstreit. Good man. Let's hope he is gets this money and is able to, I don't know, 50 grand, 80 Gs. Could you get a deposit on a house? I think you could, bro. I think you could. This is a positive start, and hopefully he is able to start renting an apartment. Allows him to build a bit of backbone while he waits for a job. And yeah, this will hopefully give him the time to do it. Why am I making a video on this? I just feel like we've been quite negative in life, genuinely, whatever the fucking word is. So we're doing a nice story. If it's nice, it could be horrible and he's actually a fucking, narcissistic pig who just enjoys leaving his kids around while he, sells dope. Again, that's just a theory, but I have bigger faith than that. And I believe he was trying to make a better life for him and his family, and hopefully he can now. And let's see, if his wife or mother of the kids makes a return now. Now he's got 80 Gs. That would be fucking funny, wouldn't it? Bitches get stitches. Goodbye. Dang, girl, you can dance.